What's going on, guys? Zainov here with your daily Battlefield 4 tips, tricks, and news, and today I'll be reviewing the AK-12 assault rifle in Battlefield 4. When I was first introduced to the AK-12, I really liked it. Now if you do plan on using guns like the SAR-21 or the M416, you have to use the AK-12 first. Now one thing that's awesome about this weapon is that the Cobra Red Dot sight is standard to it, so you get it as soon as you start using this weapon. The Cobra Red Dot sight is one of my favorite sights in the game, next to the Coyote Red Dot sight, so I had some pretty high expectations of the AK-12. Now this weapon is unlocked as soon as you put Battlefield 4 into your disc tray or load it up on PC. Anyways, moving on to the stats that it brings to the table, it has a 650 round per minute rate of fire if you are using the full auto fire mode. However, if you have the burst fire mode on, that 650 increases to a pretty average 750 round per minute rate of fire. This rate of fire is very comparable to weapons such as the M416 or the CZ805. Now this rate of fire makes this gun very usable at pretty much any range, which is why I love using it. The muzzle velocity of the AK-12 is 600 meters a second, however if you are using a suppressor, this number reduces to a very low 320 meters a second velocity. I think that this muzzle velocity is very average, and I found myself picking off people at longer distances with ease, especially in hardcore modes where it takes less shots to kill somebody. Now I don't recommend using a suppressor on the AK-12 as the bullets will take longer to reach your targets at a distance, which puts you at a disadvantage and will result in you getting more deaths. The maximum damage the AK-12 puts out is 25 in close quarter ranges of about 8 meters. That 25 then slowly dips to a minimum of 18 at longer ranges of about 55 meters and up. In close quarter combat, I found myself dropping enemies in about 4 shots without a doubt. However, in medium to long range combat, you will have to put about 6 to 7 shots into your enemies. This is not really that big of a deal if you're burst firing since you have a higher fire rate, but it definitely sets you back if you're using the normal full auto fire mode. The time it takes to reload a completely empty magazine is a full 3 seconds. Of course, if you do have that one round left in your chamber, it takes only about 2.05 seconds. Now to combat the longer reload time, I recommend always reloading after each encounter with an enemy. If you don't reload and end up spraying all of your bullets in the next firefight, you're going to be pretty much screwed because you'll have to wait another 3 seconds to reload. That 3 seconds can be the deciding factor in whether you die or survive a gun battle. Now while we are on the topic of reloading, the magazine size of the AK-12 is a pretty normal amount of 30 rounds. Of course, if you have that extra round in the chamber, you will have 31 rounds to fire. I really like the size of this magazine because you can easily take out 2 to 3 guys with one mag, which is something I always look for in a weapon. Now as for the recoil patterns, it has a 0.3 vertical or up recoil, and the left recoil measures at 0.15, and the right is a solid 0.10. Judging only from these numbers, you can pretty much assume this gun doesn't kick a whole lot. Now in order to reduce the vertical recoil just a little bit more, throw in a muzzle brake barrel attachment. There's very minimal side-to-side or drift recoil with the AK-12, so I don't recommend using the compensator barrel attachment. All stats aside, I think that the AK-12 is definitely worth continuing to use. It has very low recoil and drops relatively quick for a starting weapon. I would recommend this weapon to anyone who has just started to play Battlefield 4 and is still trying to control their recoil. That is just about all I have to say about the AK-12 in Battlefield 4. If you have any questions regarding this weapon or want me to review a certain weapon, tell me in the comments section down below. As always, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to click the like button, and if you're new around here, subscribe for daily Battlefield 4 tips, tricks, and news. But until next time guys, this is Zainov, and I'll see you in my next video.